Hey, Composer Gloves here, and today we are going to be covering suspended chords and add chords. So what is a suspended and add chord? So let's just go back to our buddy C major. Very simple chord, C major. Now, how do you take C major and make it a suspended chord? Well, a suspended chord is a chord in which you suspend something. So it's pretty much almost always the third. So you take the third, which in this case is an E, and you suspend it, meaning you take it out, so get rid of it, and you push it somewhere else. So you give it either to the fourth, so you push it up to the fourth. This is called a suspend 4, or you could suspend 2 or sus2. So you'll often see chord symbols that say sus2. So we move it. So in the C major chord, C, the second would be a D. So we move it to 2. That's what it sounds like versus that's the suspend 4. This is the suspend 2. And then they always resolve to the 3. They always push back to E. So we do this and then simply push this back to E. Now you see you could go to major or minor. It doesn't matter. So suspended chords it doesn't matter if it's major or minor. It will push back to whatever the third is supposed to be. Or, really cool. So you could jump around between second and fourth and then go to the third. You can do all sorts of cool and nifty things. Now you can also invert them. So you can take C, move it up. It will still want to resolve to the third. Like it's still considered a first inversion, and it's going to want to resolve to the third. There's all sorts of cool analysis figures you could use for stuff like this, but that's pretty much the idea. Now there's one other thing we need to talk about. Well, there are actually a few other things. So let's say we have a suspend second. What if we keep the third? What is that considered? That's considered an add chord. So you'll see add 2. So add 2 means you add the second. So here we have 2, and it will resolve to the third still. And you can do it with the fourth. Now the fourth sounds, to me, it has a way more distorted texture because it's right next to the E. It's a half step, so it's very unpleasing in some ways. But it's very, very, very useful for tension and release. So we'll get to that eventually one day. Well, actually, maybe not. When we get up to basic chord progressions, it'll be up to you to sort of make some of those decisions until I push on through some more advanced theory concepts. So, okay, so that's a suspend chord. What else is there? There is the 9 and 11. So here's the 9, here's the 11. Guess what these are? The second and fourth, the compound version. So you can have them up there. And it's the same exact principles apply. So you could have a suspend 9 or an add 9 or normally it's an add 9, add 11, but you could have it as suspended, I suppose. If you have your interval up there, you could suspend that interval. I've never really thought about that, whether or not you suspend the one down here or up there. So, but they will still resolve to the third. So, and which third they resolve to will be dependent on the voicing that you use as well. So, and the voicing is how far out you spread these things. So we talked about inversions, but voicing is more than that. So we have these E's up here. This is a different voicing. Same notes, same notes, different voicing. Because the E's are way up here. Sounds totally different than down here. But it is related. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Go ahead and make a whole bunch of these. Like practice inverting things, practice suspending things. You know, get a feel for this. Become familiar, put in the work. Don't be lazy. Subscribe and have a blessed day. Yourself. I really like this library. Like these are like stereotypical sounds that I've heard in a lot. Like you could use these as like a television composer. Like they are great. They're great sounds. So let's play a few. So on the arpeggios, they tell you what the BPM is ideal for it, and then but it will sync up to your DAW. So they've used the warping.